So say you're going to this lavish party. Everybody laughs at your jokes. They compliment your style. And for a moment there you think like, oh yeah, this just might be the best life. Well, except it isn't yours. You see, you play a Bodysnatcher in an RPG visual novel set in a socially segregated world, where you can hijack bodies of other, more privileged citizens. Meanwhile, you get entangled in their class intrigues, but you also get to use their skills to make an impact. Now, whether you use or abuse those skills, that is up to you. You see, this game will ask you, will you take away their freedom to secure your own, or will you risk your place in the world to improve theirs? Of course, this doesn't mean they won't try and fight back, so this makes for a uniquely dynamic experience when it comes to reading a visual novel. Also, it features art and music meticulously designed to partake in the storytelling as well. And finally, it has lore flexible enough for sequels, comic books, animated movie adaptations, and so on. Now, these are some games that are similar in regards to the simplicity of their design, complexity of their choices, and they're also character-driven and dialogue-focused. Now, this is also why our ideal player is just old enough to be a bit cynical, young enough to still be curious, and casual but just caring enough to want to make a change. Now, I said change, but why? Well, you play as Vas, a self-serving junkie robot, mind you, and your drug of choice is stealing other people's lives. Now, knowing this, an organization will hire you for their own goals, of course, to overthrow the Vitruvian at the top of the city's power structure. Now, all the robots have their purpose, except for you. You were made without one. Now, as you take on bodies on your way to the top, you'll explore different perspectives and different purposes of your hosts. So a new question may arise. What is your purpose? Or do you even need one to be fulfilled? So each chapter tells a story of one class struggle, all of them presented on a map divided into districts. By selecting districts, you can enter dialogues and unlock new NPCs to further your quest. Now, this would all be impossible without some enticing characters. But what makes our characters different is the fact that humans, as you all know, are born, but robots are made. So we ask you, what happens when they're past their use? When they can no longer fulfill their purpose? Each of our characters was designed to tell a story of their class descent and how they repurposed their bodies to adapt to the social survival game. So essentially, even though they're robots, it's all about humanity. Now, you already get to live their lives, even these ones, whatever they are. So why be a bystander? Everybody has its own skill that you may borrow and learn. And what you want to do throughout the game is learn as many skills as possible, as that will give you more ways to navigate the story and ultimately change the world itself. However, there's a catch. Remember, there are two of you in a body, so your host may not always agree with you. You see, they have their own goals, and these goals and motives are presented by the alignment bar. There we go. So, as you go through the story, you see they will either try to resist you, or you will slowly start to lose yourself in them. Both things are equally dangerous. So, as you try to use the skills, the game mechanics will reflect this by penalties. So, in practice, that looks something a bit like this. And now, the more the two of you align, the greater your chances in mastering a given skill. However, as you explore the darker corners of your society, You will also reveal the truth about your host, and you may not always like what you find. So, you see, the game is a constant bargain between what you want to achieve and who you want to become by the end. Now, yes, this may all seem a bit complicated, but the game is actually simple enough to be quickly delivered to all platforms and is priced somewhere in the sweet spot between similar games on the market. And as simple as it is, it has some hard choices, because there are no ideal solutions, which is why bargain is our first game pillar design. The second one is roleplay, because the game really pushes you to be the change you want to see. And finally, the butterfly effect, because we are Rag&Bone and we believe that nothing is trivial. Thank you.